Hey guys, welcome to the Wrestling Guy podcast. I'm right here with our host, the Butcher.
Yo! Thank you.
And his sidekick.
Well, I got no sidekick. I'm the sidekick here at the Wrestling Guy Center. But before we go any further, we also have the lovely and the wonderful Meg Dallas.
Hello.
Hello. She sounds like a weather girl, doesn't she? Hello. And then we have our sound.
Oh yeah.
We have our sound technician, Mr. Roy Reeves, here, folks.
He's in a bad mood today.
Well, I don't blame him. Working with you, anybody will be in a bad mood.
Go ahead and introduce our guest.
Our guest for today is from UEW. He's a young upcoming star. His name is Max X.
We're gonna give him an intro right now.
Well, Max, before we, if you would give me a minute before we have our wonderful interview with you.
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to relay a couple of messages real quick, and the message is, I hope our intro music wasn't long. I mean, it doesn't have to take a full minute and a half to start a radio show. But I like to be professional whenever we have our guests, and I like to pull plugs too. Just to announce some shows and have our guests. Everybody to feel at home. That's what the Wrestling Guys is all about. Second thing, I am just a co-host. I am not the owner. Yes, the owner is Mr. David Gomez. He is
Thank you.
He is the founder.
Thank you.
He is the founder of the radio podcast. He is the owner of the store.
Thank you.
Let's get that straight.
Thank you.
And I'm just a wrestler, tired, done. Sometimes I'll go on. Sometimes I'll train if I feel like it. It's no big deal. But one thing for sure, I like to give and help out people with their plugs, especially, like radio heads. Radio heads, I believe they're a great...
Wrestling heads.
Oh, wrestling heads. Okay, wrestling heads. My bad. Wrestling heads, they do their thing. They have their own agenda, talking with the wrestlers, stalking their wrestlers, and they do all kinds of stuff. But let's just get one thing clear. If I call you guys dickheads or anything, it's because I'm acknowledging you guys. I'm trying to pull a plug for you guys. I'm trying to help you guys out so that way you can have listeners and maybe viewers, and that way people won't be shy to interview with you. But in that case, since I'm just a sidekick, I'm a dick with no head, and whatever, it doesn't bother me a bit. I'm kind of flattered that you mentioned my name. But to make a long story short, you guys, look, I want to be professional. I wish you guys all the best. And this will be my last plug ever calling you guys out. But one thing for sure, you know where you guys really come from? Out of dickheads. Period. So there you go. Maxie, enough of these knuckleheads. How you been?
I'm great. How you guys?
It's great. So
Thank you guys for having me. Glad to be here. All that jazz.
Sweet.
He looks to me a little bit like Gregory Helms.
Gregory Helms?
Okay.
Doesn't he?
I never got Gregory Helms.
Yeah.
Actually, on Facebook, someone said that you kind of look like Seth Rollins.
That was my first impression too.
Yeah.
I get that all the
Because of
time.
the blonde.
I think he's
Yeah.
wearing glasses today.
Oh yeah, I need him to drive, so I don't want to crash on the way over here.
We've had a couple horror stories on the way over here. Trust me.
You guys are cursed.
I know we are. So how you doing?
I'm great, man.
First podcast?
Yeah.
All right,
definitely.
we're gonna pop the cherry today.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You've been popping yours on for how long? So it's okay. But Maxie, it's a privilege to have you here. We want to find out more about your, upstardom in professional wrestling. When did you start it, and what made you want to become a wrestler?
Well, I started training in September of last year. Loved wrestling since I was a kid. So, that's the story how it goes. And I was found by UEW. They offered me training.
Nice.
So, who's going to pass that up, right? Like, I couldn't say no.
Right.
So they found me in a backyard. I was doing backyard wrestling, and
Hey, you know what? I got no problem with backyard wrestling. You got to start somewhere, right?
yeah, exactly. So that's where I started. And they found me. They said, "Come train with us. All you gotta do is work ring crew, flyer,
Yeah.
shows, whatnot. The whole 10 yards." So I was like all for it. I definitely stuck to training, which a lot of the other guys who were training with me didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So out of like 14 of us that started, there's like 3 of us left.
14? You
Yeah.
started when you were 14?
No, there were
14
14 of
guys.
us.
Oh, okay. My bad. I got to hear
I
names
wish
right now.
I wish I started at 14. There's guys who like I meet, who started off so young, you know, and I started when I was 20. And now it's like people are like, oh, yeah, I've been training since I was 14. I've been training since I was 16. And I get like super jealous because I'm like, man, if I was training at that age, by now I was like, I'd be established. I'd be.
Don't be jealous because I started when I was 36. So that's true. That's all, you know. But what wrestler got you that you were interested in when that caught your attention before you became a wrestler?
Since I was like a kid, I've always loved The Undertaker.
Yeah.
That was I remember.
Breast.
You're really good with impressions.
Oh, well, you know what? I tried everything I can. So if you guys can figure who that is, well, you guys can just take a name guess and you get a free action figure from David himself.
You were pulling like a couple impressions early.
I used to do a lot of mimic of a lot of people back in the days. But it's all right.
You could do the Macho Man. You could do,
yeah.
That's my
My
favorite.
voice is a little froggy, though.
That's why you got your ass kicked by Famous V because of your Hulk Hogan impression, okay?
No,
Look, you were about to bust it out. I saw your lips look like.
Yeah, so Undertaker.
Yeah, he was the first guy. Oh, I remember seeing Kane on SmackDown, and then I was like, oh, this guy looks crazy. I really like him. And then my cousin was like, oh, he has a brother. You know, he's been gone. And I was like, and then he showed me like old SummerSlam tapes, the Royal Rumble match where he got like put in a casket by like 10 guys, like Yokozuna and all that.
Yokozuna, yeah.
And he flew in the air, and I was like, oh crap, this guy is the devil. And you know, like I like Kane, but then when I saw Undertaker, I was like, oh, I'm an Undertaker guy for sure. And then he came back as the biker Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, before we one last thing, since you're a Taker guy, I'm just curious. How did you felt about his streak?
You know, I was shocked, and I'll tell you, I was working at the Santa Monica Pier, and I was working all day long, so I couldn't go and watch WrestleMania. So I turned my phone off. I didn't want any spoilers on Facebook or Instagram because you know WWE likes to post all their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned my phone off completely until I got home. I went to Ralph's. I got root beer and ice cream. And I was gonna watch WrestleMania and you know eating my root beer floats. And the Taker match was on. I'm eating, and then I see the third F5, 1, 2, 3, and I immediately stand up from my chair and I threw my glass on the floor. It was like 12 a.m. My mom got up. She was like, what the hell happened? I said, The Undertaker lost, Mom. That's what happened. All right? And my mom's a huge Undertaker fan, too. So she was like, no!
Does she understand that?
Yeah, I mean, my mom's not a wrestling fan, but she's a Undertaker and Rock fan. She loves The Rock. And then, so she understood. Me and her crying on the floor, just, no, The Undertaker!
I think we were sitting here. No, you were not here.
No, I was at my sister's house.
I was.
Well, my son was here with you.
Yeah, we were watching WrestleMania here in the store and talking to somebody just like I'm talking to you. And I'm not looking at this TV because I'm like, oh, one F5, okay, whatever, he's gonna kick out.
Yeah.
And I see the second F5, he's gonna kick out. He does the third F5, he's gonna kick out. So I see 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
That's exactly how it is.
So I couldn't call Butcher because he didn't know yet.
No, but the funny thing was, I guess that was the first pay-per-view that was on the network, right?
Yeah.
It came out, and there was a lot of glitches. So when they saw it, I got a call from my son. I was in Bell Gardens watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And it already happened, and it delayed over there 10 minutes more. And I didn't find out until my son told me, hey, you saw The Undertaker lost? What were you talking about? Oh, and I couldn't tell nobody, everybody, because it was a party.
Yeah.
So I just kind of held it into myself. But then I was like, oh. I was like,
the tears back in,
I was
right?
like, oh, goodness, okay.
So what made you backyard wrestle?
Where it was like here in East LA too. Honestly, really close to where the UEW building is at now. It was really close to there, and I just started like because it was like right after high school. I was thinking about like what should I do in my life. I'm gonna check out a wrestling school. I saw the prices for the LA, schools in LA, and they were really out of my range, and I couldn't do it. So I was like, hey, backyard is free. Let me check that out. And I found another backyard fed here, and I was like, can I join? They said yeah. And I was like, cool. So I just showed up, and I had my first match, and immediately, like the first backyard, we were doing suplexes and body slams on dirt, no ring.
Wow.
On dirt, and we busted out like light tubes, started smacking
good.
each other with light tubes. And,
So you like that hardcore stuff?
oh yeah.
So you don't.
backyard mostly
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
now, like,
definitely.
let's say if he was to have the opportunity to do a real, hardcore match, will you do it?
Well, my last match was a death match.
Yeah.
I wrestled for the UEW Heavyweight Deathmatch Championship, and lead me to all these scars on my body.
Okay, that's proof right there.
Yeah, I had bruises on my neck. I had got legit knocked out in the match. So I had his fist bruised on my cheek.
Now you say you started training in September
Yeah, September.
of last year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a year now.
Yeah. Oh, actually July. So I already
July.
had my year.
You already had your year.
Yeah, it was
and
late
now-
July.
Wow. And you're throwing yourself into hardcore now.
I didn't throw myself into it. I kind of got reeled into it.
Okay.
But it's not like I was forced into anything.
Right. They
It
don't.
was
They don't.
more-
No one should force you to do something that you don't want to do.
Of course, because that's how you get really hurt.
Yeah.
So, anything they throw at me, I mean, my opponent, JD,
Mhm.
Afterwards he was like, I really like you because you never say no
Yeah.
to anything. I'm like, cool. Like, hey, you want to be a death match with me? Yeah, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely the death match was very similar to the stuff I was doing in the backyard, just turned up, like, to volume 10.
Right.
So it was like I was more at home because I knew how light tubes felt like. I knew what chair felt like. I knew all this stuff. I just didn't know what barbed wire felt like.
Mm.
So I got thrown into barbed wire multiple times, and my back is all scratched up, and
You're a bloody mess. Huh?
I was a bloody mess.
Yeah.
And I never had tacks in my head. There was a fan who brought a wiffle bat
Right.
with tacks on it, so smacks me over the head with the tacks, and I feel them all in my head. And the funny thing is like, on my way out, I lost the match. JD's a crazy deathmatch wrestler, wrestles everywhere in the country. He beat me, so on my way out, I'm being carried out. I can feel a fan, which is I later found out was my friend who came to watch the show. He taps me on the head on my way out. I'm like, ow!
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it
dude.
stings.
And he's like looking at his hands, like blood all over his hands. I'm like, yeah, I had tacks in my head. And you tapped me in the head.
How did your mom feel when you got home?
Well, she doesn't.
Was she there?
ask. No, she's never gone to a show. She can't bring herself to do it. So I'm like.
But she knows that you're pretty banged up.
Yeah.
So how does she?
I wasn't telling her for a long time that I was training. So I was showing up home already like bruised up, sore, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like making up excuses like, "Oh, I was playing football in the park," or like stupid stuff. I fell off my skateboard.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't until like a month before my debut where I was like, "Oh, hey, mom, I've been training to be a wrestler." She's like, "So that's what those knee pads are for?" Like, yeah, so I told her, so she's like very supportive. I mean, there was no turning back now. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to have my first match already.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, don't die. That's her number one advice is, just text me after your match, let me know you're safe, So, sometimes I'll tell her like, hey, I have a show coming up, let's go, and she's just like, I can't do it, I can't do it, and I'll just be like, okay, well, where I'll be.
So you got the name Max X. Okay. So how did you get that? I mean, how did you figure that name out?
That was my backyard name.
Okay.
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Cool. So you're bringing something, gonna take it all the way with you.
Yeah, I mean, that conversation came up in training where I was like, so we gotta figure out what we're gonna call you. And I was like, well,
You weren't inspired by Malcolm X, were you?
I actually was.
Oh, okay.
I actually was. And, it could mean different things. When I thought about it, originally I was thinking about a couple of different names. My three initials is MMM. So I was thinking about I should be Triple M, Triple H.
Da-na-na.
Yeah. and then I was like, no. So I thought, Max X, which I was reading. It was a band called Malcolm X.
Okay.
So I was like, cool. I like that band. I like Malcolm X's image. What he talks about and all that. I could be just Max X, and then it could also mean straight edge because I am a straight edge. I don't want to say I'm a straight edge professional wrestler, but I found straight edge before I even started backyard wrestling. So, and I was like, yeah, I could be just X, Max X. So when the conversation came up, like, so we should figure out your new name, I thought, what's wrong with Max X? Like, I can just, carry that on. So my trainer was super supportive. He was like, yeah. Oh, my trainer Andre Verdun. He was super supportive, and he was like, yeah, come on, like, do what you gotta do it, and then he always had my back.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Straight edge.
I noticed
I'm
you
straight edge.
I noticed
Really?
you keep checking out my meat there. What's going on there?
I'm making eye contact. He just ganders on.
I know. I can see it. I'm like,
I live the straight edge lifestyle, which nobody believes. I haven't had a. I find it very hard to believe that nobody believes me.
It's very insulting. Like,
Yes, I haven't had a drink.
you gotta get a big old tattoo. Like,
I think I am. I'm gonna have to.
I got my
tattoo.
I got my 3 X's on my leg. Actually, you can't see it, but I got 3
oh yeah,
X's.
okay.
You got tapped in the bottom of your shoe.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I have thumbtacks in the bottom of my shoe.
So you get these tags.
So you came with his wrestling boots on
Came
then.
with wrestling boots.
Dude, well, when I was doing ring crew, sweeping up after every death match, I was always getting tacks in the bottom of my shoe. And there was this one match where I had blood on my shoe. And my mom, like, I'm there cleaning my shoe off, whatever. My mom's like, why you have fake blood on your shoe? And I'm like, yeah, fake blood. Like,
So what did your mom think when you walk in and you're all bleeding and everything? Did she even see you?
well, I missed, like, we have a shower at the building, so I'm always, like, cleaning myself up, like, trying to look, like, presentable. But I'll show you, there's a time where I got black eye from Fern Owens.
Oh goodness! Out of all people, good old Fernie.
Yeah, he gave me a black eye, and I remember, walking up to my mom like, "Hey, mom," and she's like, "What the hell happened?" Freaking out, I'm like, I can still see, and it actually made me look really cool. So I was like, I want a black eye like all the time now. Like, it makes me look awesome.
Get careful, you might get your wish. You might look like a raccoon.
Is the girls? So okay, so girlfriend or no girlfriend?
No girlfriend.
The girls must like it though. I mean,
I don't
they
know.
must be like,
Well, how
"Man,
about
black eye?
No, I
You
don't
must
think
got
so.
into a fight."
Or
They
how
must
about
think
the-
you're a thug.
No,
Or how about
approaches
like
me.
the 20-year-olds, 30-year-old ladies? Are they like try to like, come here, mijo?
No, I don't get any of that. Really, which is better for me.
It'll be cheaper. You'll save a lot of money.
Maybe. I mean, I hear a lot of stories from the veterans. Like, you got a girlfriend? I'm like, no. You got a wife? No. Got kids? No. Good.
Yeah.
Keep it that way.
Keep it that way.
Keep it until you're completely done from wrestling.
So I'm like, definitely. I don't want any of that. But no one's interested. So better for me. Like,
Maybe some beautiful.
I'd hook you up, but somebody has a date on Saturday. So I can't hook you up with your date off. Did you do any other when you were in high school? Did you play any sports or
fortunately, no.
no?
The most the most physical activity I had was playing in a band.
Oh.
So-
What band did you play?
I played like in a metal band. We started
Okay.
off as like Never Ending Plague, and then throughout the years we changed our name. But that was like the most physical thing I would
Wait,
do.
just skateboarding.
I did skate, never did tricks. Was not really coordinated enough to do it, but I would ride with my friends. So that was enough.
What you do in the band?
Yeah, I was about to say,
Oh.
do you still perform? Do you
I still play. I was playing drums when I started, and I didn't play drums before the band started. We did it Nirvana style, where I was like, I'm just gonna learn as I go.
You just like doing everything as you go, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know how to wrestle, but let's see what the backup can teach me. Yeah, so I was like, I can play drums. We need a drummer. And then I got a drum set, and I played every single day. And then eventually I turned to bass guitar, learned that as well as I went.
Damn.
And then we stopped playing.
So what's your intro music when you go to the ring?
Trash Talk. It's a band called Trash Talk, local LA band from Sacramento. But it's Blind Evolution, which is a song I come out to, and I actually based my mannerisms on the vocalist Lee. I want to come out the way just like he does on stage. He's like swinging his arms, he's punching, and he's just like banging. I'm like, that's how I want to come out. I want to come out.
You
like-
want to come out on a mosh pit?
Yeah, exactly. I want to come out and start a punk mosh pit, like people circle pitting everywhere. That's my dream. That is my dream.
And just start smacking people.
Yes, the crowd surfing.
You know what?
Crowd.
No one's ever done it, so you might as well break that in. So there, now it's out there. Watch some jack off do
I
it.
thought he was going to say he was going to commit to radio.
Oh,
Well,
that's too depressing.
who? I don't know who they are, so let's just stay focused on Max. because they don't deserve my time. So, anyways.
Yeah. So, and then I think the UEW Fiends are the perfect people to like carry me into the ring. Like
Dick kicks. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the Fiends?
Yeah.
No, not the Fiends.
No, not the Fiends. I love them.
So, what made you decide, or who decided you were going to be a face?
Them, the
Them?
fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I came out just who I am. You know, I was just, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't hate them, but I don't like them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out there and do my own thing, and
So you're a tweener.
not a tweener. Just they decided like, hey, we like this guy. You know, I don't come out doing heel tactics. I don't come out. I don't try to cheat.
Over fun.
Would you want to be a heel?
I mean, if the fans pissed me off, you know what I mean? If the fans turned their back on me for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't need them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need anyone.
We gave you. We're not gonna say it on air because we don't want nobody to steal your idea. But we gave you a good heel gimmick.
Yeah, it's true. I could carry that for sure, and I feel like if I do decide to turn, you know, I'll do it.
Now the straight edge, you know, there was CM Punk.
Yeah. I mean, now it's like the straight edge scene and wrestling scene have like collided like hard. And when I was like going into Punk shows like at 16, you know, no one was a wrestling fan. No one was. I mean, and CM Punk's the reason why I got back into wrestling. I mean, I was watching since I was a kid, but there was a period where I didn't watch. And then someone like on I think it was like MySpace at the time. Because I was following.
You're around for MySpace?
Yeah, I definitely was. I was a little too young maybe, but I was on there and following like punk shows and hardcore shows, and someone's like, "Oh, straight edge wrestler, CM Punk," and I was like, "Straight edge wrestler." At the time, I wasn't straight edge, but I knew I was a straight edge,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh, I need to check him out then," because I know all my favorite bands like Minor Threat, you know, who basically started straight edge. Where I love their music, so I need to check them out. I need to check him out. And, you know, I was like, oh, you know, he's coming back with ECW,
Right.
you know, another hardcore fan. And I was like, you know, I love ECW, and I love wrestling, so why not? So I started watching again, and I fell back in love with wrestling, pretty much. And so now I was like going through all the shows, you know, secretly like loving wrestling. And I'll mention, and, you know, like people were like, oh, you know, wrestling's lame, you know, it's fake, blah, blah, blah. WWE's lame now. Oh, you guys should watch MMA, blah, 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 you know. And I heard it all.
Right.
And I was like, all right, well, I love wrestling, so I'm just going to keep that to myself and walk away from you.
Right.
But now, since I started training and I'm going to shows now, and I wore a Finn Balor shirt like a month ago to my friend's CD release show, and I had so many people coming up like, oh, that shirt is awesome, Finn Balor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so different from like 2 years ago where no one watched wrestling.
Right.
And now it's like wrestling and hardcore music are like, they're all the same fans now. Like, and it's awesome to me. I think it's great. And I had a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, hey, you know, you like Finn Balor? Like, yeah, I'm a wrestler too. And they're like, really? And, you know, and that was like a good way to get people to shows. And I want to come out with a punk show mentality.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, I could be that guy to bring punk shows and wrestling shows together.
Why not? Hey, freak shows doing their own thing, and
Oh yeah,
why not do something different?
Then remember if WWE had the tag team, the Headbangers. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
They were cool. I used to like
So
them.
tell everybody, because if we have people who may not know, we might have young listeners, what straight edge means.
Basically, it's a lifestyle of drug-free, alcohol-free.
Good for you. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Now, do you follow the the tough question?
Just
here.
follow. Make
Because
sure.
there is one more
Oh,
thing.
the sex-free?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have
You're not supposed to.
casual sex.
Yeah, you're not supposed to sleep around, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the guy who made it, Ian, he's always like, that was the big question, you know what I mean? Because everyone likes to add their own thing. Because people added vegan to
Right.
straight edge, and people added Christianity to straight edge, and throughout the years, people were just adding their own take on straight edge. And he was like, I'm all for adding your own take to it because I never wanted straight edge to catch on.
Right.
I wasn't telling people how to live. I was telling people how I live.
Right.
And that's what Ian, the singer of Minor Threat, said. And so he said at the time when everyone was doing coke and everyone was, you know, having sex with random women every weekend, he didn't want to live that style. So he said, you know, I don't want that style. But, you know, he's got a girlfriend and and so I'm like, how do they survive? You know what I mean? Like I know he's not following that anymore, but he's definitely not drinking.
That's why God created two hands.
That's
That's Roy.
Over here, David.
Sorry, forgot you're right.
Right.
I apologize on behalf. That was again David Gomez.
Well, if you put it away, it wouldn't hit me in the eye. Shit. How hard is it though to live the straight edge
Keyword
lifestyle
hard.
in wrestling?
Because
Because everybody goes out, parties, drinks.
oh man, I hear all the
Not
time.
everybody, but
I'll hear all the time in the back, like, "Hey, Max, let's go have a beer." Blah blah blah. I'm like, I can't. I'll hang out, but I don't want a beer. And like, I had like my first ever match was a 6-way match, and they were like toasting at the end with beers, and they're like, "Oh, let's get Max a beer, ha!" And I was like, I
Just
have
throw me a
water
freaking high C. There you go.
bottle. A Capri
A
Sun.
little Capri Sun.
well, you know what? Let me tell you this much: if you
Yeah,
get
root
married
beer.
and you go to the parties and you tell them you don't drink, they're gonna say it's because of the wife. Because that's what I get every time.
Because of the
To a
water.
party, they'll be like, "Oh, you don't drink because your wife doesn't let you, huh?" I'm like, "No, I don't drink because that's my choice."
Yeah.
But
I have a lot of older friends and some wrestlers too, older than me, and they don't drink and they don't do anything. They just like living healthy and clean. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I always said like even if I stop claiming straight edge, which I'm doing less and less really because I don't want to be known as like another CM Punk,
right,
which was like one of my biggest fears. Is like I didn't become straight edge for CM Punk, which a lot of people did.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's not who I was. I was being straight edge because of the music I like.
right.
But I don't rape it like how everyone else does. I'm just myself, and I forgot where I was going with this.
Well, there's another.
Oh yeah,
hero
but I
character.
wasn't. If I stopped claiming straight edge, I'd still be drug free.
Right.
Like I had no intentions of drinking. I don't want to do drugs.
That'll be your next heel gimmick. See now, if you ever want to turn heel, so imitate CM Punk, so people will be like, "Ah, you fucking CM Punk wannabe."
That would be.
Hey, it'll get you heat.
Yeah.
Anything you do now gets you heat.
Yeah, that's true. I was about to say the exact same thing.
Is there anyone right now that you want to face? Like, I mean, you're fresh to this. I mean, a year. You got a long way to go. As long as you want to take it. Is there like anyone in the indies business that you like want to get in a ring with?
I'm gonna give you a basic answer and say everyone.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like there's anyone I would say no to.
Right.
There's not like, hey, you're gonna wrestle this guy. I'm like, no, but like I want to wrestle this guy. Like if they put me in with anyone, like I'm willing to do it. But the way I think about my career is like I want to attack like territories and then move on to somewhere else. Like I see like I want to follow a career like Chris Jericho. Like he started in his hometown and dominated his scene. Then he went down to Mexico and dominated that scene, and he went to Europe and dominated that scene. That's what I want to do. I want to.
You're in for the long haul.
Yeah, I definitely am. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, is this a career or is this a hobby?" I'm like, no, this is definitely a career. And I want to change the landscape of how little guys are seen. I'm 5'5", so I'm a short guy in the game, and I know like every match is like, oh, that's the underdog, but there was Bryan Danielson and ROH who was the little guy, but he wasn't seen as the underdog. I mean, in WWE he is,
Right.
but in ROH he was the guy like, oh, you're gonna go against Bryan Danielson, he's gonna mess you up, he's gonna stretch you out, he's gonna type you out, and that's what I want to do is like, oh, you're gonna wrestle Max X, oh, like, watch out, he's gonna break your arm, and that's what I want to do. And like going back to like who I want to face is like I want to wrestle everyone in UEW. I want to be the top guy in UEW, and once I've done that, I want to go to another place and wrestle whoever they have to offer, everyone who's there. I want to go to another place, and I don't want to say like I want to go to the East Coast specific. I won't say any specifics because I want to go wherever the road takes me. That's how I want to see. But if I wanted to say like names, like I can't give you a name because I want to wrestle everyone.
So you've been wrestling for about a year. Well, no, yeah, about a year. Right?
Yeah, my first match was in March.
Okay.
That was my debut match.
And who was your opponent?
It was a 6-way.
Okay.
My first ever match was with Sage Sin,
Oh,
Zero, Fern Owens, Freddie Havoc, and it was just a 6-way elimination match. And Red Bat was in that match, and it was just 6-way elimination. Threw me in with the Sharks, which is how it is. I mean, like for all the rookies, it's like, oh, you feel like you're being tossed into it. Like the Sharks, because you're not ready. Or I had that mentality. I was like, oh, I'm not ready, but people told me like, you are ready. So I'm like, how can you know if I'm ready when I don't feel ready? But once I got out there, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely ready.
When you had your first match, how did you feel after when it was done?
Like relieved, man. Like every match is like a sigh of relief. Like I go out there and
like I can feel my fingers, move my head.
Yeah, I mean, like if I walk away or like if I don't die, I guess that's a successful night. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope not.
that was my like mentality for the death match. It's like all right, well I'm gonna give it all. I know what's going to be out there, and tubes, I knew thumbtacks, I knew barbed wire was going to be out there. Like, what's the worst that I can get and be satisfied? And I thought, like, as long as I don't go to the hospital, I can definitely, like, I could just be happy. And I wanted to send the other guy to the hospital. I wanted to send JD to the hospital, but it's a tall order when you're wrestling a bona fide deathmatch wrestler like JD.
So you've been wrestling since March. Which one's been your favorite match so far?
Man, out of the 6?
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard choice.
I'm hoping not the death match because that one looked pretty gruesome.
It was. At the time, it wasn't really fun. But like thinking about it back, I was like, I could definitely do another death match. They wanted me. But as my favorite match goes, it was for One Wild Night, which was not a UEW show, but was sponsored by UEW. UEW gave him the venue, gave him the ring. It's a benefit show for Kyle Wilde and his aunt who's suffering from cancer. Mm-hmm. And I was scheduled to wrestle my trainer, Andre Verdun, but he pulled out at the last minute, and they needed a replacement. They had the Evil Lone Star from Rev X. He came out and kicked my ass.
Nice.
But that was my first professional win, and I won with a double wrist lock, which is what I'm learning. I'm learning catch wrestling.
Right.
So, and that's the style I want to incorporate, but it's kind of hard when I'm being thrown into like experienced guys. Like all my matches have been with like set experienced wrestlers, and I can seem to get the upper hand on them because they know more than I do. But he was wrestling with me, and I got him into a double wrist lock, and which is what I want to do with everyone. I want to just put you in a double wrist lock and break your arm. And that was definitely my favorite match. Mm-hmm. It had a little taste of everything. We had some hold to hold in the beginning. We had some hardcore chairs throwing out. I had a really bad accident. I was going for a suicide dive, and my knee was below the second row. Oh. So I kind of like, here's the rope, here's my hand, and I kind of just flopped right down on top of my head. Mm-hmm. And like, there's a video of it on YouTube. There's like 2 different angles of that match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you on YouTube, Max X versus Lone Star, it'll pop out, and you can see my big accident. But everyone in the back came out. Like, they were just like, oh, no, like, you're done. Like, that's it. And, I was proud of myself because I was like, no, I'm not done. I'm still in this match. The match is not over, and that's just a wrestler mentality. Like, you get hurt, you keep going on. So I was like, oh, no, this match is still on. I'm going until someone says I quit, because it was not a quit match. So I got back in there, and we continued the match. So that was definitely my favorite match ever. But I hope there's more favorite matches to come.
Have you wrestled DeMarco?
No.
Are you waiting?
Yeah, I want to get my hands on him for sure.
Just to let you know, somebody on Periscope does think you look like Gregory Helms. Thank you, Mattel.
I love Gregory Helms, though.
They said there's a Hurricane 2.0 coming through.
Stand back, there's a Maxi coming through.
I remember there's a Raw show at the Staples Center that I went to when I was like young, and I went to the merch booth, and I was like, can I have a cane mask? And the guy thought I said hurricane. So he gave me a hurricane mask, and I didn't want to say no. I was like, I'll take it, fine. And I just had a hurricane mask, like walking around the Staples Center. I was like, but I want a cane.
Hey, they were a tag team.
That's
for
true.
A while. They were a tag team.
Kane is like the king of makeshift tag teams.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Kane. So back to DeMarco. Are you waiting for that match?
itching. I'm waiting for it. I mean, I want to give DeMarco a shout out, but I'm gonna kick his ass when
Yeah.
when it
Nice.
goes 1-on-1.
Did you hear that, DeMarco?
He did shout me out the first one, and I was like, surprised, like, because we trained together at UEW, and we don't click. How like some people are like, you train with someone long enough, it's like, you got a relationship with that guy.
Right.
But DeMarco and I don't click. But I'm gonna kick his ass if we ever get into the ring with each other.
I think that'd be a pretty
That'll
good
be
match.
interesting.
Very interesting.
Because we're the same size.
Yeah, I just think you guys can
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
be
you
a
guys.
quick paced match.
Yeah.
So
It'll be
you
really
have to-
good.
Yeah, I mean, he and I have like very like strong like cardio work. When it comes to like cardio drills, like he and I are the ones who are going at it like really hard. So I know like, oh, we can go 30 minutes, we can go an hour if we wanted to.
I'm gonna ask you this in a non-flirtatious way because I already got. But, I mean, no, I'm gonna say it, and I'm just saying like, you're young, you're a good-looking guy.
Oh, goodness.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. See, now you can say
It's-
wrestling
it's-
guy gave you a compliment.
You know what? It's,
No, but
it's
why
the
would-
gay side coming out now.
Why?
Go ahead.
I mean, what made you want to do the death? I mean, like the death match.
Why don't you say, what makes you want to do the death match? Just say it, David. Come on, Bruce Jenner, let it out.
Why? Oh no.
Wow. Come on.
Oh no.
You know what? We're gonna transfer you to Wrestling Heads, okay? Sidekick. All right, Robin. I'm Batman. You're Robin. Know your place.
Well, I'll tell you what. if I go with dickheads, I will work with Sliss, but we'll get rid of what's his name, Oscar wannabe de la Hoya, or
All right. Anyway,
Oscar the Grouch, or
what made you want to do the death match? I mean,
Oscar
like
de los Frijoles,
good-looking guy, young.
Oscar Mayer Wiener. That's too much of a compliment. I take that back.
Can you let him answer the question?
I know. I want to get this Oscar crap out of the way.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Oh well, I
We
mean,
got plenty of time. It's Maxie.
I'm here all night.
Oh,
I ain't going anywhere.
He's young. He can outdo you.
That is stone cold.
If not, we could get what's his name, Mr. Two
They
Cents
want-
over
they-
here.
Butcher and
Oh, too late. He's here already. Hey guys, I made it back this time right now.
Butcher and Roy just want us to join in their night game of who comes first.
Just for your information, I got bigger breasts than David.
Oh.
Want to see my pepperonis?
Now you're gonna make us lose our guests on Friday. Go ahead.
Oh.
No, but
That's
go
all,
ahead.
Alright,
trust me.
All right, my death match. The reason why I wanted to do my death match, besides being in love with ECW and their hardcore style, was I want to get every style of wrestling under my belt. You know what I mean? Like I literally want to just be that guy. Like, hey, like do this match today. Yeah, do this kind of match today. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing like I don't want to get under my belt, which is why I'm also currently training lucha right now, and so I was like, it's just like my mentality. Like I want every style of wrestling under my belt, and I can just do it all. Deathmatch wrestling is a huge style to have under your belt, and it's like a mentality game. Like if I wrestle with someone, like they don't know, maybe I might bring out a chair, maybe I might bring out like glass light tube, because that's what I do.
You want to be kind of like Cactus Jack McFoley,
I would love to be that.
something like that.
And I was getting a lot of like similarity. Like people kept telling me, like you took so much, and that's how it was with. I mean, every match is like I take so much, and I get beat down, and I keep going, and they tell me a lot. Is like you can absorb pain a lot. And like it's not that I can absorb it because I feel every single thing. Like I was laying down on barbed wire for like 30 seconds, and anyone else is in the right state of mind would pull themselves out and walk away, but I couldn't. I wasn't thinking right, and and it was stuck in my skin, and I was too afraid to move. And I was like, yeah, like I don't want to say, if I'm in a match with you, kick my ass as much as you can, because I know it's just it's toughening me up, it's making me stronger. But I'm just building that style, like like you can go all day, kick this guy's ass, and he's gonna get up and kick your ass.
Actually, speaking of matches that you had, I think the match I enjoyed at UEW was at July 11th against Human Tornado.
Human Tornado, which is, SoCal legend,
Right.
And I remember watching Human Tornado on WSX on MTV, and he was coming out with, the pimp walk and pimp hat. And I was like, who is this guy? And and the first thing he does is he dives out of the ring, over the, the barricade, onto the whole audience, and I was just like, oh crap, like, this guy literally
Those are splits.
flew. This guy just flew over, and he does this little dance move, so. And I was, I saw the card and I saw that I'm wrestling Tornado. My first thought was, oh yeah, and I thought, oh no, it's Tornado.
Speaking of Tornado, does he ever talk? I hardly hear him talk.
Well, if you saw that match, he actually
I
cut
don't
a
remember.
promo.
I mean, I got some DVDs there. Yeah, well, promos are different, but I'm talking about like.
Does he still do the kick in the corner?
Oh man, I got
Yeah, the
3 of
whole
those that
clapping
weekend.
kick.
It was a 2-day event, and I wasn't in a 6-way with Tornado in it, and then I had a 1-on-1 match with Tornado, and I got like 3 of those.
Those are classics.
I'll give you a wrestling challenge.
Mhm.
Sit through one of Butcher's matches. If you're still alive, you're okay in my book.
You know,
Oh, no.
there will be a day. There will be a day that I'm gonna get this little tugboat, and I will kick his ass in the ring, and he will know what it's like to be a wrestler.
Don't talk to Roy like that. He's not. A
You
real
know
tugboat.
exactly who I'm talking.
He's like
to.
the Titanic. He's still sinking.
Oh,
His sex
good.
life is sinking.
You
Anyway,
guys want this to happen? I can talk to UEW.
hey, you and Butcher.
We can.
You against Butcher.
I would love that.
You know,
I think that's a great match right there.
It'll be awesome. It'll
I'll be
really
in
good.
your corner.
No, I lose matches with
You
this guy.
sabotage him.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you, are you planning to have a manager in the future?
If I'm
Wink, wink. You know.
I love managers. Wrestling managers are the best. I want, if I were to be approached and offered by a very charismatic manager, someone who can give me some good bookings, someone who can talk the talk and let me walk the walk.
There's so few of us out there.
Yeah, I would definitely love
Definitely
that
is,
manager.
isn't there?
Well,
so
we'll
few.
talk after the podcast.
You want to conduct business.
So, it's separate because then everybody's gonna want a piece of the butch.
Because you're doing lucha, you're training lucha style now.
Yeah.
Would you consider wearing a mask, or would you rather not wear the mask?
I'd love to wear a mask. I don't know what I would be, but I had ideas.
I think the Max X works with the mask on too. I mean, because if you really look at
He can, but you know what? I could see, just my perspective. I could see more of Jeff Hardy.
Another comparison I get.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, of course, and then what's his name?
Gregory Helms.
Gregory House. I mean, you got all that little package, and you could just. I mean, you're different. You're totally different in it. And I think it's cool. That's what wrestling is charismatic, different guys.
Like you're the melting pot of all of these.
You know what? I think we are looking at the major big star right here. We just don't know what what God has
thank
predicted
you.
here. So
There's another guy that I could see a good match with, and I think you guys are about the same height and have the same kind of personality, and he's a little darker, but
Go ahead, spit it
Eli.
out.
Eli ever.
Eli, I know with his jiu-jitsu background and my catch wrestling, background, I think he and I can put a new take on wrestling, and I would love to have that match.
I think I
It'll
could
be
see
a
him
great
as a
match.
tag team too.
There's
little bit of
a
a tag
second
team.
person I would think you might have a great match because he's currently the UEW TV champion.
Yeah.
Biagio.
He called me
Biagio.
out. He called me out, so he's on my shit list.
Well, let me ask you this: since you're young and everything, and you started training and everything, even in training,
saying
or
young, and I know
somebody,
we're going
'cause he's young. He's young. What,
21.
21? Okay. Has anybody, any of the veterans, just try to, not young boy, but like I'm trying to say, like, get a little rougher with you in the ring, or just actually try to see what you're made out of before,
If they did, I wouldn't know, because all I know is hit the guy as hard as you can.
Yeah. Have you felt like anybody maybe has been?
Yeah, but I'll deliver it right back, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I mean, no one's ever came up to me and like, hey, what was that all about? You know, like, you know, it's wrestling. What are you gonna expect? I know, like in the old days, it wasn't as contact as it is now, but you know, everything evolves, wrestling evolves, and now it's like anything less than contact is, you know, not good enough.
Right.
So it's like, you know, if he punches me, I prefer the guy to hit me than miss a mile away and make us look like shit.
Right.
I'd rather you punch me as hard as you can, I punch you as hard as I can, and we have a good old time and we hug it out at the end. If I like him.
Have you ever considered maybe kind of learn to do a little lucha style?
Oh, he's training.
I was training with.
He was busy picking on wrestling heads at the time.
Yeah, well, you know, I was just a little distracted by Oscar the Grouch. Oh, there's another one I left out. But have you tried training with Los Luchas?
No, I haven't. But I am training with Supernatural.
Okay.
Right now. So he's
good old Natch.
He's my lucha trainer right now. Yeah, man, that guy's a beast.
He's a beast.
He's like I told him already, but when I train with him, he's like a rhinoceros with Spider-Man reflexes. Like this guy,
That's pretty good.
He'll pull out the craziest stuff you'll ever see, and so I'm really happy to be training with him because he's so knowledgeable and he's a great, you know, coach, and I'd like to believe I'm easy to coach. So I was like,
might call his ass later tonight to see how he's doing. Well, just see how he's doing, you know. When I started talking with him, we ended up talking all kinds of stuff afterwards.
How's that Max X guy? He's doing pretty good, huh?
Max X, truthfully, let me tell you.
Well, you'll tell me, right? I want to know.
Truthfully? But, yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, I want to get Supernatural. I told Natural to come by here to do a podcast and to bring his American flag.
Have you gotten any crap from the fans anytime?
No, I mean,
any pendejo, any child like
that. If you
that?
don't know, when you start doing lucha shows, they're gonna let you have it.
No.
Oh, they're the best. I think they're the best trash talkers ever.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I go to UIPW shows and I'm like in the back just watching and these guys go at it like it is.
And the famous one, culero.
Culero, yeah.
That is the famous one. I mean,
I've been called every name of the book with those names. Trust me. Yeah.
Johnny Mundo on Lucha Underground, I went over there and he got called Johnny Puto.
Johnny Puto.
That's pretty funny though if you think about it. Johnny Puto.
He's gonna be at UIPW, so let's see how much the fans.
You know, it's kind of amazing about UIPW that their location on what's their name? Clayla. Not K-Love's radio station, but Clayla. I mean, it's been there for such a long time there that even what's his name, Phoenix from Los Luchas, you know, he was from that area, that street, and that.
I think both of them were.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Both of them.
But it's just like that little street is cursed with wrestling, and they're becoming like stardoms there. So I don't know.
Backyard wrestling.
And backyard, and look at you're a part of that clique there. To be honest with you, so that's pretty cool.
Your friends that backyard wrestle with you, or any of the old guys go check you out now?
Yes, some.
What do they say?
That's my boy.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, you did great. You know, I can't wait to be out there with you and like all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm waiting for you. You know, like, I mean, out of the 14 of us that started, 10 of them are just fell off the face of the earth, and the ones that like stuck around, they're still training and they're still working the shows, or like with ring crew and all that. So I'm still surrounded by a lot of guys that I train with, which I wish they would start working soon. Because I would love to be like, you and I came up together, you and I have our back no matter what. And honestly, I don't have that. There's no one who I've trained with, who's been like with me on this road. I just had my trainer, and that's it.
Do you guys still not you, but do they still backyard wrestle?
Some do. The ones that fell off the face of the earth.
Do you go to any of the
to
watch just out of curiosity?
I would love to go. Yeah. Like there was a couple of feds that was in the backyard. Not the first one I've ever been to, but like probably like the second one I did. I went to like 2 of their shows.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm still really close to them. Some of them are like my best friends of all time. So.
Did they try to get you to be part of the show or not?
Like I was in a tag team called the New Tang Clan. Yeah. So he'll be like, oh, bust out the shirt, come on, like let's just have one match, like a dark match. Let's have like no, I can't do it.
What are we gonna see you like in UIPW, or you think you don't want to get up there yet, or
Not yet, but I'll definitely be there.
Right.
Under a mask, maybe. I mean, I don't know, as I want to keep the Max X everywhere I go. I'd love to have like different. I want to say like characters. I want to have different characters every show, every place I go to, or have options. Just be like, what do I feel like today? You know,
Right.
I want to be Max X, or do I want to be a Gato Diablo, or whoever my gimmick's gonna be.
Now I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Corrected.
You were a extra for one of the freak shows.
Who told you this? What is this madness?
Don't tell me you're the octopus.
No, that
I
was
heard
Marco.
from Simbodi.
Oh, Simbodi, huh?
Simbodi. He told me you were one of the extras. He said you're a good kid, but one of the extras at
I love
show.
that. I love that somebody talks about me because
Yeah.
he's a great guy, and yeah, I did work a freak show.
What, were you a character or just?
I was a
Come on,
I was
you were on Adolf Hitler now, were you?
No, I wish. That's a great gig.
I was talking to Simbodi about this Adolf Hitler character, and he says that everybody, Jake the Snake and Bruce Pritchard, and everybody that's done something with the freak show, they always remember Adolf Hitler and the octopus.
Yeah, those are awesome. Like those are just great to see. But yeah, I'm not gonna be around the bush anymore. I was a guerrilla referee.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy? What do you think of Freak Show? Because they have a show coming up Saturday at the UEW arena.
Are you gonna be there?
I'm definitely gonna be there.
Will you be the gorilla again?
Probably, maybe. Probably not. I don't want to say yes or no.
Because if you are,
Well, if the gorilla has bleach hair, then we know it's him.
Butcher might bring a banana. I ain't gonna say what kind of banana either.
I mean, I love to wrestle on it. I don't know if I want to be the gorilla again.
That must have been hot being in that, but
It was. I was sweating and I dehydrated. But it's a part of, paying your dues. It's part about getting up there, just getting your name out there. I'm glad, Simbodi even remembered me.
Right.
I could have just been like that guy, like whoever that guy was. He was my referee for my one match.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with Simbodi.
why do you have to lie?
Oh, no,
Oh,
some
you're
guys
honest
lie.
now.
But no, I'm gonna be honest. I talked to him. We spoke for about a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes on the phone. And he really takes a lot of pride in everybody he works with, and he really wants to get, like yourself and anybody that works Freak Show, he really wants to give them an alternative for them to work, and the fans. He cares a lot about the fans. He cares a lot about the wrestlers. I mean, he was just throwing a bunch of different ideas on how to grow Freak Show and how to grow my store. In just the 30 minutes we were talking. And he said, once your store grows and gets a little more exposure, you're going to help my show grow and get more exposure, which in the end ends up helping these guys have somewhere else to work. So Simbodi is
Once he sees you, he's gonna think you're a freak, anyways.
I might be part of the show.
Yeah.
Natural.
Here comes a human piñata.
That's
some
awesome.
chingadazo.
I'll still be more entertaining than the butcher.
Wow.
At least I'll be around. You'll be destroyed.
Bring out the bat.
Yeah.
The stick.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Kicking ass.
Kicking ass, definitely.
But where? Do you want to be still doing indies? Do you want to be already in like WWE Lucha Underground or something?
Oh man, I mean, some of the guys who are there have been there for years. They've been doing the indies for years. But if the offer would come, I'd jump on it. I know I'm always gonna be UEW. I love that place. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't
That's
for
your baby.
UEW.
That's like pretty much your
I'm their
parents.
baby.
Yeah.
And wherever they go, I go. I mean, I know there's they have the mentality of they want to grow. They want to go to different cities. They want to have, UEW everywhere. So, wherever they go, I'll go for sure. I do want to work, other places in LA, like a wrestler. But I don't want to have too much bookings either. I want to have that mystique about me, like, hey, we can't see this guy a lot, so we gotta go to this show.
Right.
I just want to go be with UEW. I do want to, you know, if there's a TV show, I mean, there's a promotion with a TV show, I'll be like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do that because, you know, that's more exposure for me, and, you know, I could help. I think I got a lot to offer wrestling, and I got a lot to offer wrestling promotions, even if it's an indie or major shows. Like wherever I go, I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna put myself in it and grow them as I grow myself.
How does it feel to? I mean, you're working with Sage and people like that. How does it?
Good old Sagey.
Sage, yeah.
I love Sage. She was there for my first training. I was the new backyarder. My first day ever wearing jean shorts. You know, like okay, like my dusty knee pads because I had worn the day before, and I was like, all right, cool, like let's do this. And
I would have called you John Cena. I'm like, hey, there's John Cena right there.
John Cena Mark.
John Cena Mark. I looked in the mirror. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I'm calling him John Cena now.
Well, that's all right. Just never give up.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I love Sage. She's great wrestler, and she was there since day one. So I know she gives me advice when I need it, and you know, we're just family from UEW. I mean, everyone in UEW is family. So. I mean, I would love to have, you know, matches with her because I know I learn from every match I've ever been in, and I know she can teach me a lot. So
well, she has a lot of heart for the business, her and her husband. So you know, you're in good hands with her.
Yeah, and I love.
Of course, with everybody else that's
love
there.
Kyle, love Sage. They're great people, and I mean, these are the guys I need to stick around with. You know, if I can't get a big head and think I should go somewhere else because they can teach me more. I mean, I know the people who I'm with right now are the right people, and for me, you know, maybe not for everyone, but I think where I'm at now is where I'm going to be in for the long run, and wherever they take me, wherever they teach me, you know, I'm gonna give them back 100%.
Well, you're doing the right thing. You know, no girlfriend, no family. Yeah. I mean, well, besides your mom, of course, but I mean, like, you don't have a family that you have to take care of. You don't have a girlfriend that you have to worry about, so you can focus on wrestling a lot more. On wrestling.
And I know, like, you're pretty new on doing all this now, but have you got involved with any of the drama behind the locker and stuff like that?
I stay away from that.
Good.
I mean, being so new is like. To get into it now is like.
Well, the reason why I ask because like you're a young man and things are different. Things as each year things changes and stuff like that, and I'm sure you hear stories, especially on Facebook and all that stuff. So just keep your nose clear. Listen to your instructors, your teachers, and be professional.
I mean, they try to reel me in, but that's when I'm just like, oh, I'll see you later. I don't want to do it. I know there's a lot of, drama. I mean, everywhere you go is just going to be.
Yeah, because once you have that stardom name and stuff like that, then that's where that's where it starts, and just keep your head up.
I'll keep that with me everywhere I go.
Without mentioning where you work, but with work, I'm guessing you work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And full time.
Yes.
So how do you find time to train?
He's young. He's nonstop. He can go all night. He's the Energizer Bunny.
There you go.
I'm sure your wife wishes she had one of those.
Oh. It's all right. I got her little pocket rocket, so she's all right. It's all right. I could have the night off. As a matter of fact, I got one for your wife. And it's a foot long.
It'll say that for you.
You modeled mine, huh?
Yeah.
You took a mold of mine.
As you were saying. David's not being professional.
I'm not the one mentioning pocket rockets here.
You're the one that's likes to talk about.
This is why wrestling heads hate us. Go ahead.
Because they're the elite dickheads.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, like
hold on 1 second. I know it's your time and everything.
Just
guys,
smack him on the back
guys,
of his bald head.
Radio heads, whatever you guys are called, whatever. It's all love. Remember that, all right? Just don't take this stuff seriously. But you guys are dickheads.
So how do you find time to train?
Well, if you're passionate and you're serious about something, you always find time. And I mean, there was when I started, I was working graveyard shifts to get school and wrestling involved, and now it's like, okay, well, I want to do wrestling, so I ditched the school, which a lot of people say is not smart, but I'm training more now than I was when I started, so it's like, no, this is my career. I'm not gonna do anything else. Like, this is what I want to do, and even if I fail and become, useless and wasting my life, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I did what I wanted to do. I pursued what I wanted.
Just in that field right there that you're talking about, do you have a backup? Because God forbid, because I know you are taking a pounding, and you are going to do some high risk maneuver, and especially like if you're going to get yourself involved with death matches, do you have a backup?
That's a conversation I always get, and I come off as the clueless rookie when I say no, because I feel like I know myself well enough, and I mean I have my 8 to 4 job now, and if I were to get hurt outside, I'm covered by unions, so it's like I can just be like, hey, I'm hurt. All right, take the time off.
Not just say that. Forget it.
Union, you're not listening.
Can you guys edit this out?
And besides, it's we're not talking about Max X. We're talking about Maxi Pads here. So let's keep that in the clear.
There's 2 different people, guys.
Yeah. Please continue, Maxi.
So I was like, I don't have a set backup career, but
consider it though.
I consider it, and I know I always fall back on my feet. Being young is like I haven't fallen off the horse much, but I like to know that I have a good mind in my head, and whatever I decide is right for me. And wrestling is what's right for me.
When you were going to school, what was your plan to major in?
I majored in film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still write. I wanted to be a screenwriter and director, and I always film, and
if you ever need an actor, I'm right here. I'm sorry I didn't mean to spit at you, but I'm here. I'm available.
All right, I add you to my list.
Yes, please.
I'll have my people call your people.
Thank you. That's how
it's like a prostitute right now.
Oh, I was going to say he has 2 offers now.
Manager and actor. What kind of screenplays are you writing? Horror, comedy, drama?
All of the above.
Just look at David's face. He's got comedy already.
If Butcher takes his shirt off, you'll have horror.
If I take off my shirt, I'll have horror too. I
can see the
scratched up all over the place.
Well, what kind of films?
If David takes off his shirt, he has 6 nipples.
What kind of films do you like?
Horror films, comedy films. I mean, when you're like a film buff, it's like you don't got you don't got much.
McDowell's has high blood pressure right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original.
The original.
Yeah, and I know you guys watched the reboot that came out just a couple years ago.
I haven't seen it. Is it pretty good?
I'll get into that, but it started off awesome. It started off right where the original ended.
Right.
And it was still black and white, and I was like freaking out because this is the best thing ever. I was like, oh, and it just starts off, and I thought this movie was gonna be great, and then it turns into complete shit. Which is what it always does.
Stephen King movie.
That's what I thought when I saw Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Halloween. Oh yeah, I remember that conversation.
I gave it a chance, and well, that went down the toilet. All right, favorite comedy.
Favorite comedy. Nacho Libre. I love it. I love Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre, huh?
Yeah, that's my favorite comedy. It has all the elements that I like, so I was like, why not?
And drama?
Facebook.
Yeah, that is a tough one right there.
That's a tough one.
Probably like a Martin Scorsese movie for sure. He's always got the best films for me, or any Quentin Tarantino film.
We were watching that one with DiCaprio. What's the one that he just did? Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
And we were watching it here. One of my baseball players was like, let's watch it for a little while.
It's a 4-hour film.
Well, the nudity scared a poor kid out the door. I was like, we both were like, oh shit, we didn't know how the Roku worked, to pause the movie. I'm like, so we had to run up and turn off the TV.
Yeah, because it gets pretty bad.
It does.
When that film came out, it was like in December. And I remember this is great. It's making up for all the nudity that didn't happen throughout the year. Like Martin Scorsese was like, man, there was no nudity this year. I'm just gonna throw it all in there.
Throw it all in there. Hey, see, he had the backup plan. He can be a film writer.
You know, that's something I always had in the back of my head too. Is like, you know, when I'm done wrestling, around 40, I do want to get into film again. I do want to start a band again. I do want to do anything creative. I can't wear a suit. I can't go to an office. Like it's gonna drive me crazy.
We got dead air right now, David. That's your part to say something.
That was the first dead air we had.
I know, first dead air, David. What's up with that?
We did pretty good.
I was ready to ask questions.
You've already taken.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah,
you were just like,
the gears were turning, but nothing was coming out.
I don't know what to say next, but let me tell you right now. What kind of Speedos do you wear?
Butcher's thinking of himself back in high school.
That was pretty nosy. It was not funny. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny.
Do you still watch wrestling now?
My DVR is jam packed.
Raw, SmackDown.
Raw, SmackDown. Well, not SmackDown. I watch Raw, Lucha. I watch some Impact too. I mean, I was in love with the X Division like forever. You know, I think 2006 and 2007, 2008 were like the best years for the X Division, and now it's like still good. I still like a lot of stuff though. I think the Wolves are like probably the best thing they have. Honestly.
Who's your favorite tag team or wrestler right now?
Right now, at the moment, I mean, you want me to answer both?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think Finn Balor is probably my favorite right now. I think he's got everything that wrestling fans want. Like cool entrance, cool wrestling style. Like he's got it all right now. But tag team right now.
The New Day, huh?
The New Day is awesome.
Aren't they?
The New Day became just like that weird Vine and Facebook team.
They got really loosened up with their clapping or dancing. It's just more entertaining to look at now. Before I didn't care that, but now it's like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just needs time, which is what developmental was for.
Right.
Like, to develop your characters. But when you want to make a new team like that, the New Day, like you're just gonna throw them out on TV. It's like, yeah, the first couple of times is not going to be great, but yeah, they became great. Not necessarily with the wrestling, they're the same thing, but with their like talking and with their characters, like that's where they're selling at right now.
I'm just curious because of your age right now. Do you watch the Divas?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like watch them like that, or
like the show, the
Total Divas.
Oh, Total Divas! I love Total Divas.
Yeah.
I have two little sisters, 10 and 11. That's my excuse. That is my excuse. I watched with them because they watched the Kardashian show, so it's like in the same network. So I'm like, hey, you guys like this shit? Like, watch Total Divas. It's like I like the backstage stuff. When they're building the set and all that stuff, or in the back, I'm like, oh, it's Dean Ambrose in the back. I'm like, oh no, like.
Dave likes watching Kate Jenner. That's the new show that he's been looking forward to.
It's a big.
I was gonna say I don't blame you. During Total Divas, I've seen some pictures of Eva Marie.
Favorite diva in WWE.
Paige.
Oh, everybody loves Paige. I love Paige.
I mean, what's there not to love about Paige?
That's what I say.
She has a great personality and her sense of humor. I love it.
Yeah.
She has beautiful eyes.
And an accent.
Beautiful eyes.
We can just have another hour conversation on just what she has great.
She has beautiful eyes.
Did you watch her Stone Cold podcast?
Yes, I did.
I totally missed it, but
I actually missed. I didn't even pay attention to Stone Cold. I usually do. I didn't pay attention to him this time. I was busy focusing on.
Yeah. So that was great. I mean, I like how she was more scared to talk.
Yeah.
As opposed to everyone else, like Triple H and Vince, like they had nothing to lose. So I'm just gonna talk. Mm-hmm. And she was more like, can I say that? Can I not? That was my favorite part. I was like, oh, you're in trouble now.
How soon do you think before Seville comes back?
Or Ricky
Bandera.
Well, I mean, people know he's both, so it's like, soon. How soon? That's not. I honestly can't say.
Would you like to see him back soon?
I'd love to. I mean, I was bummed. I was very bummed to see him go. You know, he was everyone's favorite asshole. You know, and like when you put real life in wrestling, like when you pull them apart, it's like the wrestling side would be like, oh, that's one less jerk to deal with, but we need jerks like that.
Yeah.
And when I go talk about wrestling as opposed to reality, I felt really bad for the guy. I was like, like big reality check for me is like, oh crap, like something like that could happen to me, and maybe I'm not as strong as he was and able to bounce back. That's just something like I'm always thinking about too. But I'd love to see him back within the year. I'd love to see him back the 22nd. UEW hadn't shown the 22nd. I'd love to see him back there. But that's up to him. He said he's talking about he has an interview, like a 3-part interview on UEW's website. You guys can go watch that. But he went very in depth with his life, which is kudos to that because not a lot of wrestlers like to give fans a sneak peek into their real life. And he opened UEW with open arms and was like, this is what I'm going through. This is what's happening with me. He talked about his family, so I think it's up to him, it's up to his family, it's up to his health, and I mean I know if he can't do it physically, mentally, I want to do it.
Right.
But he's a strong dude.
Where can everybody catch you this weekend, next weekend?
22nd. UEW's having a show on the 22nd. Blood Brothers, which if I won my last death match, I could have been in the deathmatch championship against Sledge, but it's all good. I mean, I gave it my all, tried my best. JD Horror is just a crazy guy, and I am scheduled to wrestle Danny Limelight, and I don't know how I feel about the guy because we were having a little Twitter war. You were asking me about drama. Yeah, look, I was having a little back and forth. I stopped. I gave like 2 tweets out because I saw him tag me, and I'm like, all right, dude, like.
That's how it all starts, dude.
Yeah.
And then it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're already caught up in the midst of it.
Yeah. So he called me out, and I was like, all right, I'll bite. It's like. So, and then after the second message, I was like, oh, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to kick this guy's ass. So you guys want to see me kick Danny Limelight's ass, come the 22nd. But he's another fan favorite. So I was like, I can't depend on the crowd to be on my side. I had to depend on – because he did question my wrestling fundamentals. As he put it, he was like, because I was in a death match, but can I wrestle? And I took that offensively. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I could definitely wrestle. I want to see Danny Limelight wrestle guys like JD Horror, Inferno, to see how much wrestling he can get in.
Right.
Because, it's like the guys I'm with, have been balls to the walls. It's been
balls to the wall. I like that. Balls to the walls.
Not pretty competitive fights. I haven't been in that much. I mean, Daniel Torch I wrestled, and we had a very great technical match, But, of course, he doesn't see that because he's new to UEW, and he doesn't like to do his research and watch my previous matches, which, if I'm his opponent, he would be wanting to watch my previous matches. And he would see that I can wrestle, and he would take back that tweet. But, he wants to call me out. I'm going to call him right back out and going to beat him up. That's the way I can do it.
Right.
I'll wrestle him. He wants to question my wrestling fundamentals. I'll wrestle you, Denny, and I'm going to throw a chair in your face, and everything I know, I'm going to throw it at him.
There you go. That's it. That's all you got to do. I don't want no Twitter war, though.
Yeah, I don't want any more Twitter wars. I mean, that was probably my first and my last.
Right.
I want to leave it all in the ring. I want to. If UI TV wanted us to cut promos for the show, I'm be like, yeah, you want me to talk shit? You watch the UEW ITV show, and you can see what I have to say about them. So learning experience. I'm not gonna get any more.
Well, you're gonna get people that are gonna give you shit, and then you're gonna get people that will respect you.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be people that are just gonna make you talk shit until you earn their respect. So.
Yeah, and Danny Limelight, if I don't have your respect now, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna make you respect me.
There you go. Tell everybody where they can find you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. I have my Max X page on Facebook. On Twitter, I'm Kamikaze MaxX.
I know it was hard to find you on Twitter.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not a big Twitter guy.
Ah.
You know, I'm a big Instagram guy. On Instagram, I'm Hardcore MaxX. So I like to combine them, and whatever I post on Instagram, I'll just post it on my Twitter and my Facebook. But those are the three places. I mean, other than uew.com.
I think I saw a movie called that once, Hardcore XX. I think that was the name of a Cinemax movie. I'm just kidding.
Cinemax.
That was the name of a Cinemax.
That was my original name, Cinemax.
That would have stuck. That would have stuck. I learned a lot.
I would have been a Val Venus.
Another heel.
Yeah.
Look at, we've given him 3.
Potential to be a heel.
Oh, I think so. I think it's
right now because you're young.
I think it's
you want
itchy.
everybody
Yeah.
to. Every person wants to kick your ass. You know?
Yeah.
It'd be good for you.
Yeah. That's going to be up to the fans, though. I'll let them decide. Do they want to hate me?
I might have to go to that UEW show and take some Mexican.
You ain't gonna go nowhere.
Start the riot.
I think you guys should all be there, honestly.
I'm gonna be there. He already hired me as his manager.
Isn't there like a Sentel invasion or something going on?
Oh, we didn't even get into our beef with Sencal.
What's
Forget
it?
those guys, man.
What's the beef?
Sledge was our UEW heavyweight champion and didn't want to wrestle one of the shows. Decided to no show, and he didn't defend his title, and so we had to go get our title back. And
Oh my god.
it was a big old invasion. We had a battle royal to determine the new champion, and I was in it. That was my first heavyweight match. Was I get to be in the battle royal, and Discord from Sencal, which is a manager of Urban Discipline in UEW, gave me a green mist to the face, and was temporarily.
A little great kabuki moment there.
I was blinded.
You won't know who that is.
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
So, and you know, we're on an ongoing beef with them, but Sledge will be back, you know, representing Sencal. We have Jimmy Ray he's going to be in a match with Kyle Wilde, and more Sencal versus UEW matches to come, because I don't think one of us is going to stop until the other one's out of business.
That's a lot of wrestling.
Sounds
wars.
exciting. Sounds like my cup of tea.
You guys can all catch it up on the UITV.
UITV. See, he's already
Yeah.
giving them a plug.
UEW ITV.
UEW-ITV.
That's the best place to find out what's happening and our current beefs, and because we're not afraid to call anyone out. We'll call them out then and there on our TV.
Can you guys do me a favor and call out
The Butcher.
the Butcher? I want him in the ring.
I love to see him in the ring.
You know what? My presence.
I haven't had good sleep. I haven't had a good night's sleep in about a week. So if you can get him in the ring,
My presence
guarantee you I'll knock
is
out.
royalty. When I go in a ring, it's only what I have to when I think it's right.
He's calling you up.
King Butcher.
He gave you a new name.
King Butch. I kind of like it.
I dig it.
All hail King Butcher.
I was going to ask you real quick. Do you I got so emotional about the whole king. Nah, I just lost my. I thought, oh yeah. Anyways, what's your major goal? I mean, I know you're young and everything, and I know
my end game?
What's your end game? What is the main purpose, the peak of it?
Here's what it is. And honestly, this is the dead truth. I want to live in Japan and wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
That is my goal. That I strive for that. I think about that all the time. Is like, man, if I move to Tokyo and tour with them, where wrestling matters, where showboating is not as important, but very much important. But it's just the wrestling, and I think I have better wrestling skills than I do character. You know what I mean? Like, I can definitely out wrestle you.
So that's the finish line right there.
Yeah, that's once I hit that peak, it's like I can die.
And then you want to get yourself.
I hope not.
And then
I can die happy. There you go.
And then you can get yourself a nice little Chinese woman, right?
Japanese woman.
Oh,
Japanese.
Well, they're all light.
We just got our Asian listeners.
My crush is Hiraku Shida.
See, I told you. I had a feeling that he has a thing for yellow.
There. I'm trying to get her up. Hiraku Shida.
Oh yeah, me like it long
I
time.
might need this for.
You guys had to YouTube her,
Oh, yeah.
Google her.
She's very cute.
She's my favorite.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh,
30
It's
seconds.
taking my phone. You can Google
I'll be back
her.
in 30 seconds.
If I could
He's done already.
If I can move to Japan, if I can wrestle for New Japan, and I can just talk to her, that my life's complete. And I knew I've made it in wrestling.
Wait. Your life can't be complete.
Oh, it can.
No. You're missing one very, very important thing.
King Butcher is your manager.
No, me.
Yeah.
And the match.
Me as your manager against cricket boy.
Can we have a manager versus manager match?
I think I can win.
As soon as I'm done kicking his ass, I'll make sure I'll kick your ass.
Look, Sage, if you're listening,
I'll make sure both you guys are
book
done.
it.
Period.
Book it.
And I'll
Butcher against Max X
and I will take
in a Maxi
my
Pad match.
new manager, and he's right here, sitting across from me.
Right.
He's not even tall enough to get into the ring.
Well, neither are you, and you're gonna roll to the ring. Anyway,
A Maxi Pad match. The loser gets a Maxi Pad.
oh, believe me, I'll bring enough tampons for your ass.
You heard him. He called you out. Are you gonna accept this challenge?
I'm gonna go on Twitter first.
You're like the Miz,
What are you talking about?
trying to instigate these fights.
Never. Because I'm awesome. See?
Well, that's very cool. Do you have any last requests? I mean, not requests. I mean, do you have like any
You're
last?
killing him off or what?
No, well, any last
words?
Any last words for young guys like you that want to become a pro wrestler?
Man, I can't really say because I am that young.
Well, I know.
guy.
That's why you could just what you feel, your desire,
Mhm.
you could give
Well,
for those young guys that want to think about it.
A lot of people would say that I didn't train long enough. You know, a lot of
You
people.
know what? I want to tell you something. I didn't mean to interrupt like that.
Yeah.
But we've
So
had
if you ask me and then you interrupt me.
people, veteran wrestlers are
Yeah.
always still learning,
Yeah.
and they're always no matter what. So it's just how bad you want it, and you educate yourself.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You know,
Well, you were too slow to say it.
that's true.
I think
A lot
we're
of
setting
dead
up
air.
this match right here. I
There's
think
a lot
it's
of
setup.
dead
I already feel a little heat right here now. All of a
I
sudden.
mean, I don't know what you want. What kind of match you want? You know, I could do it all. But you can call it. You can call it stipulations.
You really?
Bro,
Yeah.
Patty's match.
Bro, I'm wearing mine right now. Let's do it.
And I'll tell you
You know
what.
what? I'm out of here.
I'll tell you what.
You guys wrap up the show. I'm done.
How about an ending career match?
That was
End the
just
career.
Ending career. It's gonna
That
be
was
over
just
for you
the
already.
worst decision I've ever
Forget your pad.
Before I even start,
I'm going to my office.
I could do an end career match. Yours is already done. I've already.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting ambushed already.
Ambush just one guy.
You need a career to end a career.
Until right now, you bring him a water bottle. Where's Roy's? Where's mine? And where's McDowell's? We're talking here.
All right,
Thank you.
It was already open.
if you beat me, you
use
can
your
have a sip of my
imagination.
water.
Oh goodness. How about an arm wrestling match
Oh, okay, we could do that.
right now?
But barbed wire at the bottom of each.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to talk to Sage, and I'm going to tell her to book this match. You can make your UEW debut.
I think it will probably be Carrie that you need to talk to.
Why is that?
Isn't it who runs the show over there?
Michael Rummins.
I'll talk to Michael then.
Michael Rummins.
You could
is
put
a
your-
good
Why are you getting
resident.
so anxious to get
You see
involved?
me? You
Yeah,
see me?
you already got the.
I'm getting jacked right now, man. I'm getting ready
I'm
for
looking
this.
at those scars. Jeez.
Like, I want this, man. I want this arm wrestling barbed wire match.
Arm wrestling barbed wire match.
I think I can get my brother Loncheto to be there.
Nope.
No, thank you.
I think Loncheto's done. He'll be outside selling hot dogs. Bacon dogs.
All right. So we're going to book this match?
I'm ready.
All right,
Their faces on Cheddle.
You know, why even beat around much? How about right now?
Right now,
There's no
you want
barbed wire
right
right
now.
now.
There's no barbed wire.
Who needs barbed wire? Right now.
You want to have
Set
one
the
right
straight.
now? All right, let's do this.
All right, go ahead.
We're gonna do
Veteran
this.
versus
Here we
the punk
go.
here.
Before we wrap it up, here we go again.
All right, hold on. Let me just.
Oh goodness, here we go, folks.
Yeah.
Are you
You
adjusting?
want to sculpt this?
He's
Now's your chance to sculpt it.
yeah. He's adjusting his bra and panties.
This is for
Hold on, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet.
We're not ready.
We're not
Should we
ready.
do this gimmick too?
You want this too?
Yeah, should we do it?
Hold on.
I know the official rules.
That's all right.
Hold on, we're not ready yet. Okay,
We'll just flex for the cameras.
just flex for the camera for now.
See? Paying $30 a month for these bad boys.
Arm wrestling match.
You're gonna book this? Alright,
Matt, wait, not yet.
If anyone starts watching now, this is a
The
very.
Butcher
Not
versus
yet.
We're just holding hands.
Max X.
Okay, hold on.
Both hands up.
Oh, internet connection is too slow. I can't
Oh,
record it.
it's just like your life.
One. Wait. I can probably get it recorded.
We got 3 cameras here, boy. We gotta start this now.
You're all right. You're gonna win because I've seen Butcher arm wrestle. He can't arm wrestle for his life.
Well, look at the guys that went. Tito Scodino, he cheated on me.
He cheated against you, not on you. He wasn't baiting you. Okay.
Anyways.
You ready?
Let's get this correct. All right.
You can count it down.
Go ahead. Ready? It's not recording, but go ahead. Go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you were a tough cookie, huh?
David, get your ass out of
Hey,
here.
my water. Jeez.
Mine too.
Are you even trying?
My Periscope.
Let me know when you're ready.
He's ready.
Hold on.
Wow! Butcher loses again.
My new manager.
Butcher loses again.
My new
0-4. Wow, Butcher, what happened?
There's a fat little jelly bean with a John Cena shirt.
This is it, right here.
Interferes constantly.
Raise it up.
Oh
We
my
did it.
goodness, this is pathetic.
My heel turn.
That's a heel turn. We did it. All right.
Where's the title at? Bring it out now.
We can book the rematch at the UEW arena
Properly.
With the barbed wire.
with the barbed wire.
Anyways.
Over a tank of Ferrari.
Anyways, Maxie was getting a little fresh with my hair. I don't know why.
All right. So on Facebook, you can find him at
Max X.
Twitter,
Kamikaze Max
but
X.
don't go under because he doesn't update it.
No, I'll start.
All
If I
right.
get some followers, I'll start
All
updating.
right.
You know, I'm on the toilet.
We're gonna retweet you.
whatever.
You know,
This
we
is what I
followed
mean.
you and you didn't follow us back.
No, that's a lie. That is a lie. I followed you back. You haven't checked
Then
any
again, now you're
followers.
starting to know David, he's a liar as well.
Liar, cheater, lice.
And on Instagram,
Hardcore Max X.
and that's not the name of a Cinemax movie. We established that. Let's give a round of applause to our guest here.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring him back.
Thank you guys. I'd love to be back.
You want to plug any shows this weekend?
Of course. There's a show on Friday, August 14th at 9 p.m. Brian Kendrick presents Wrestling Pro Wrestling, and this involves Mariachi Loco versus Eli Everfly.
Yeah.
On the 15th, Saturday, at the UEW Arena, we have Freak Show, Fiesta de Monstruos. On
16.
the 16th, there's two shows going on. This is the Birthday Bash at the Clayla.
They're all at
Yeah.
UEW arena.
They're all there. And also that same day on the 16th is Lucha Libre VIP
With Mariachi Loco.
with Mariachi Loco versus Misterioso for the title.
You know, also remember there's a AWS match on
The
the 28th,
29th.
the 29th,
Yes.
the 29th. Do not miss that one out. That's at 7:30 p.m. Do you have the address, David? Because you didn't bring me the paperwork.
It's in Southgate. The paperwork's not out yet. But most
9500 block.
Yes.
There you go.
and most important, there is a show August
22nd.
22nd.
UEW, Blood Brothers Sledge versus JD Horror Deathmatch Championship match. We have a second Deathmatch Championship tag team deathmatch with Andre Verdun and Kruger, BC Killer, Homeless Jimmy, and we also have me versus Danny Limelight. And I'm gonna teach that boy a lesson.
There you
Nice.
go. And don't forget Freak Show on Saturday.
August 15th.
Yes. So for Engineer Roy, choo-choo, the Butcher,
One last thing. I just want to say goodnight to dickheads. They know who they are. They're looking at
Dollies.
themselves. They're looking at themselves in the mirror right now as we speak.
Dollies,
We're out.
we are.
Out.
Goodbye, people.
Yay!